What teacher has had the greatest impact on your life and why? What teacher has had the greatest impact on your life and why? Can I ask you what teacher has had the greatest impact on your life? Okay. Do you think that money buys happiness? Okay, so in your opinion, does money buy happiness?
No.
Can I ask you what teachers had the biggest impact on your life?
You look so familiar. Are you a content creator?
I do make content.
I think I've seen your stuff before.
Like the rich friend stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's up? What's your name?
That's good, dude. Mark.
Mark, nice to meet you, brother.
dude.
Pleasure. Thank you for watching my stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Would you be cool if I asked you that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what teacher has had the greatest impact on your life?
At the business school, we have a professor named Paul Habibi,
Okay.
active real estate investor. He practices what he preaches.
Yeah.
And has a huge successful track record. And he's made a huge impact on me.
That's amazing, man. And can I ask in like what way he's impacted your life?
Yeah, I'm pursuing a career in commercial real estate.
Amazing.
So it's kind of his realm, but kind of just seeing how he picks apart investments.
Yeah.
How he weeds out the good ones from the bad ones.
Sure.
Has really affected kind of how I take that experience into my roles going forward.
Incredible, man. And can I ask you, as you go out kind of into the workforce and everything, what kind of like impact do you want to have on the world?
I want to be known as someone that's dependable, that connects communities. And I think real estate's something that is very rare, that like something impacts so many of us.
Right.
In so many different ways, where we live, work, play,
Yeah.
spend time with loved ones. So kind of having that impact on the world and making it a better place.
Thank you, brother. And then sorry, a couple more questions. How do you define success, like in your life?
Ultimately, it's what makes you happy. But I think what I've come to learn after a year in business school is it really comes down to the impact. How many lives can you touch, pay it forward, importantly, and kind of pay it back the success that I've had.
Sure.
Give it down to the next generations.
I love that, brother. And then the final question is, what is one thing you feel like we can do every single day to make the world a better place?
I think never get complacent. Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
But really, you have to take a step back, look at your life, all the success that you've had.
Right.
And you've got to just pay it forward. And I'm sure there's people that have been helpful for you in
Sure.
your career.
Absolutely.
Just having that desire to give that forward. So.
Thank you, bro. And I promise, final question: who's your hero?
I'd say my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Yeah, immigrated here when he was young, didn't have a dollar to his name, didn't know anybody here, didn't know the language.
Sure.
But came here, started a family.
Wow.
I have this wonderful opportunity to study at UCLA, so it's been a great opportunity.
Absolutely, bro. My great-great-grandfather came over on a boat to Ellis Island from Naples, Italy.
Oh, man.
So, started our family in New York, and he was only 18 years old. So it's, similar to your, grandfather, the fear they must have felt, but they're like, I know we're doing this for a greater reason.
Yeah, and then now we're here, and so I know we've had days where I'm like, man, this is so difficult.
Right.
And you think back to coming on a boat here, coming here not knowing the language, it's like heaps harder than what we have to deal with. So I think that's also kind of carries me forward in what I do too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Now, are you okay if we use this for social media?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you
All
so
right,
much. It was nice meeting you, brother. Take care. Excuse me, bro. Can I just ask you what teachers had the greatest impact on your life? Thank you.
Do I look at you or look at
Oh, no, this is perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
What teachers had the greatest impact on your life?
Adam Krager.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a philosophy professor here.
Oh, wow. So it started kind of when you were at college that you met your most inspirational teacher.
Yeah.
And what about him has been so inspirational in your life?
I think he just emphasized the key fundamentals to living a moral and good life in the eyes of Aristotle and Plato. So that was really helpful to me.
Amazing, man. And what is your major?
Philosophy.
Yeah. How do you want to apply philosophy kind of going into your career and stuff?
Definitely with a heavy emphasis on ethics.
Okay.
And I was thinking about going in the Coast Guard after college. So
amazing.
Try to make an impact on the world that is bigger than what I took from it. That's kind of the idea.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And what about being a Coast Guard is something where you're like, I want to kind of give that service?
I feel like I owe something to the world after going here. I never thought I'd be here. So, I think giving back to, the I feel in debt to the world pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
an amazing thing to say, man. Guardian's actually one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's with Ashton Kutcher. He plays Coast Guard.
Okay.
It's like Kevin Costner. Can I ask you what your definition of success is?
Can I think about it for a second?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Please. Yeah, there's no rush. I know it's
Yeah.
many different interpretations. I just love asking you guys.
Yeah.
Or I guess how you would define success in your life.
Yeah. I think I would define success as taking care of people.
Yeah,
That's about what it is.
that's beautiful,
you know?
man. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have anything to do with money.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
It's your impact on other people's
yeah,
lives.
I think that America's pursuit of money is most of the reason why we're in trouble. So,
I love that, man. And one final question for you.
of course.
What is one thing you think we can do every single day as humans to make the world a better place? If we do just one thing.
Give people the benefit of the doubt. I think that for everything that you know, there's 10 things that you don't know, and every single person has something going on that you absolutely know nothing about. And so,
Yeah.
giving them the benefit of the doubt that, if they're dealing with you in a way that you don't like, that they're still coming from a good place of doing the best they can with what they got.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm 30. It took me a long time to realize that, man. And
Yeah.
you're obviously younger than me, and you know that now. And I think everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And I think when we're so in our mind and looking at our own story that we're like, that person doesn't have a story. That's
Exactly.
just, it's black and white. That's just a bad person. It's like, no, dude, that is a very complex individual, as complex as you.
Yeah.
So you feel like showing more maybe love, understanding can kind of make the world a better place in a lot of ways.
Yeah, main character syndrome's a real thing.
It
Gotta
is,
break
man.
that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, brother. What was your name?
John.
John, I'm Rich.
Nice to
So
meet you,
nice to
Rich.
meet you. Are you
Yeah.
cool if we use this for social media?
Of course, go
Thank you,
for it.
John. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, brother. Take care. Thank you. Excuse me, brother. Can I ask you what teacher has had the greatest impact on your life?
Probably my first college English teacher.
And can I ask why?
I think before that I hated reading and writing, and
Yeah.
she just kind of made me actually enjoy it and
Yeah,
like it.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then just one more question for you. What's something you feel like we can do every single day to make the world a better place? Just one thing.
I guess wake up and think of things you're grateful for instead
Yeah.
of things that you're dreading or
Yeah,
things you want to remove out of your life.
for sure. I love that, man. What's your name?
Hanson.
Hanson. I'm Rich. It's
Nice
nice
to
to meet
meet
you.
you.
Do you mind if we use this for social
Yeah,
media?
sure.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Hanson.
have
Take
a-
care, brother. Thank you. Ava, thank you so much for acknowledging the jacket. What teacher has had the greatest impact on your life and why?
Okay, my 5th grade teacher, Miss Jacobo, she's actually the reason I'm studying education and want to be an elementary school teacher.
Wow.
Literally all my college application essays were about her. I'm actually still in contact with her. I still talk to her all the time.
Yeah.
She got me a grad gift when I graduated high school. She's literally super amazing, just always there for her students. In every way, during lunch, went out of her way, would go to my softball games. She played softball, so I really connected her with her
Yeah.
on that. So definitely her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And what, I guess when she was teaching and stuff, how did that impact you? What made it different from maybe other teachers and stuff, the way she, I guess, was teaching class and stuff?
I feel just how open and honest she was. She was super upfront with us. She was pregnant at the time. So
Yeah.
she was super upfront with that and
Right.
was there for us in class, outside of class, at lunch when she didn't have to be. I feel that really impacted me.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then, can I ask what you're studying here at UCLA?
Yeah, I'm studying education.
Oh, yeah, education,
And
right,
then I
you
have a
mentioned that.
minor in religion.
So you would like to, obviously, is there a certain grade you'd like to teach specifically?
Honestly, anywhere.
Okay.
I just want to give back to literally everyone in education as a whole.
Yeah.
So my family did it too. So
Right.
it's literally my blood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's incredible. And then just another question for you. Thank you for answering these.
Of course.
What is your definition of success?
I feel mine isn't a lot of people say money. Mine isn't that. It's
Yeah.
it's more impact based. I think that comes a lot from my religion and
Yeah.
Jesus, his love and
Yes.
I want to very much be the embodiment of that within my classroom. I know I can't necessarily in public schools talk about religion,
Yeah.
but just embodying that and being impactful to the students and their future and
Yeah.
their experience within education.
How has Jesus impacted your life and kind of changed your life for the better?
honestly,
I'm a Christian, by the way, so
Okay,
I
sick.
love
Yeah.
that's how God works.
yeah. No, it started. I didn't really grow up in the church. Like, I started, then we got away from it because of sports, and then after high school, I was like, I stopped playing sports. I was like, okay, like what's left for me? Like, kind of like lost who I was.
Yes.
And I became like suicidal at a certain point. I was
Wow.
like, okay, like this is bad. And I was like sitting on the floor in my bathroom, like just like crying, and I got like a wave of just like God calling me to Him, and I was like, okay, like this is what I need to do. So then I started I got another Bible again, started reading it, started going to church again.
Yes.
And like ever since then, like life has just been like so great, like in every aspect.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I turned to Him, like He was there. Like He never was like far from me. Like, He was always behind me, waiting for me to turn around. And I finally did, and like He just embraced me with like everything. Like, people around me,
Yes.
things He's given me, like coming here to UCLA, something like insane I couldn't imagine, and it's all because of Him.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
And that's really what brought me to Christ too, is
Yeah.
struggling through a few suicide attempts,
Yeah.
and you know, He's just keeps His arms open for us whenever we're ready, and He's just, there's no judgment, there's only love, and He's just like, whenever you're ready, I'll be here for you.
Yeah.
The last question I have for you is, what is something you feel like we can do? What is something we can, everyone's okay. What is something you feel like we can do every single day as humans to make the world a better place? Or what's one thing, I'm sorry, that we can do every day?
Be like Jesus. Like if we could all just like be like Him, act like Him, like follow what He taught us to,
Yes.
the world would be amazing.
Amen. Well, thank you so much, Avon. Are
Of
you
course.
cool if we use this for social
Yeah,
media?
of course.
It's so
Do your
nice meeting
thing.
you. Thank you for
You
everything.
too.
God bless you.
Of course. God
Thank you,
bless.
Ava.
Have a
Take
good
care.
one.
Bye. Oh, sweet. Thanks, brother. So I just want to ask you, that's so funny. What teacher has had the greatest impact on your life and why?
My mom, probably. She's a math teacher, and she just grew up kind of instilling like foundations of math when I was a kid, and then it got me ahead in all my math classes, and now I'm a math major. So
Oh, that's amazing, man. And why did you decide to focus on math as your major?
it took me some time to figure out, but after a couple years I realized that was what I was best at, and
Yeah.
also enjoyed the most, so kind of it made sense. I don't know why it
Yeah.
took me a little too long to figure out.
No, that's amazing,
Yeah.
man. And what would you like to do with your math major out in the, career field?
So I'm a senior now, and I'm looking at trying to pursue being a full-time actuary,
Okay.
but I'd also love to kind of follow something entrepreneurial after a few years
Yeah.
and just see where I can take my own thing.
Yeah, good for you, man. That's amazing. And just a couple more questions. What is what impact would you like to leave kind of on the world and stuff in terms of what you do?
So if I start my own thing, the whole design would be trying to get people off their phones.
Dude,
I hate
nice.
going on my phone. I don't like when my friends are on their phones and I'm trying to hang out with them.
Yes.
But so some way to try and get people off their phones. I don't know how, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and figure it out.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And then my final question for you is, what is something you feel like we can do every single day as humans what's one thing we can do to make the world a better place?
I think reflecting's big. You can't really grow without reflecting on yourself, thinking about what you did that day,
Yeah.
what you wish you could change, go
Right.
back and do a little bit better so
Yeah.
that you can then correct it the next day and just be a little bit better.
Amazing, man. What's your name?
Thomas.
Thomas, I'm Rich.
Rich?
It's so nice to meet you, man.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you, man. Yeah, of
Are you
course.
okay if we put this on social media?
Yeah, I don't mind.
All right, thank you so much, Thomas. Take care, brother.
See you guys.
Thank you.
We're
Okay. Do you think that money buys happiness?
I feel that it can.
Okay.
And it does. Especially being honest about the country that we live in,
Yeah.
being in a late stage capitalism.
Sure.
So yes, it doesn't buy all happiness.
Right.
But yeah.
But to the extent of being able to afford the things that we find comfort in.
Absolutely. Not even just comfort, the essentials. There's the luxuries, but essentials are luxuries, right? Being
Right.
able to take care of your family, being able to have a R&R day, they all kind of coincide. It just depends on where you are
Right.
in life.
Yeah, and I guess when family gets older, being able to afford proper health care and stuff and be
Right.
able to, maybe an in-home nurse, whatever it might be, and just take
Right.
care of them.
Even if it's not an in-home nurse, just being able to collaborate. I know some people who probably should have retired already. They're in their 60s,
Yep.
they're pushing on their 70s, and they still have to work.
Yeah.
They go from one career to now another job. So absolutely it will help.
Can I ask you how you define success, what your definition of success is?
Yeah, I feel like for me, success is a daily pursuit. You shouldn't, like, of course, we want to have like 5-year goals, 10-year goals, but really just being able to like focus on what you're grateful for, gratitude, and like success is how you set the tone for the day. So you should begin the day knowing that you are successful and it will be successful. And even understanding that like failure can be success as well. It's just perspective and like being able to reframe your perspective of everything.
And then just 2 more questions.
Yeah, for
What is one thing you feel like we can do every single day to make the world a better place?
Yeah,
I know that's a tough one, I know.
every single day, I think that just to have a moment of reflection, for me personally, I believe in God.
I do
and
too.
so that's really important to me, and it's like to pursue God. Everyone has their own definition, everyone has their own gods, right?
Sure.
Some people's gods is money.
Yes.
But it's just like that higher power, that source, to be able to tap into that and to not believe all of your own thoughts, but just to follow truth.
Yeah.
And just don't believe the lies, because right now in the world there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of fear mongering, and just like be in truth and be able to pursue that.
Can I ask you how God's changed your life?
God directs my life. If anything, there's always been a will and anointings over my life, so it's not necessarily about the change, it's about my willingness to have a posture and to remain obedient.
Right.
I think if anything, there's a change. The change happens in God's forgiveness and grace for me, because the only time that I get off the path is when I get distracted.
Right.
So I don't know if it's a change, rather more of a continuance of God's original will for me.
Yes, absolutely, and a willingness to follow that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's where I felt like the biggest change in my life is when I stopped wrestling with God and just accepting Him. You know, for me, I'm a Christian, so I believe in Jesus, and it's always been that calling. Like I'm trying to. It's like it kept going to voicemail.
Yeah.
And that voicemail box just keeps piling up, and it gets full, and your life just starts to erode. And then at some point, you got to just clear that voicemail box and answer the call.
Yeah, and
you know?
even when you talk about wrestling, like I can't quote scripture, but I recently read the Bible for the first time last year.
Wow.
There's a lot of different stories where there's wrestling. There's wrestling with David. There's wrestling with Job. There's actually a scripture where there's literal wrestling with God, and it's like it's okay, because in that wrestling, God is like, you're still pursuing me. And it's okay. God has grace and forgiveness for you.
Amen.
And it's okay to embrace all of the ebbs and flows and endure, and even like don't beat yourself up, but don't stay stagnant either. So
Amen to that. And then my final question for you is, can I ask you who your hero is?
My hero?
Yeah.
Okay, in the physical form?
Yes.
I have many, so I would like to give more than one. So I would say my hero, the first hero I can think of, it's my mother, my sister, and my brother. Like specifically though, my big sister. There's nothing like a big sister. And then overarching, I would say we're supposed to say Jesus Christ, because thanks for dying for us.
Wait, sorry, what'd you say?
Jesus Christ, for
Yes,
thanks for dying
amen,
for us.
amen.
But I would say my younger self is my hero. I saw a young woman the other day speak about like how we always have to show up for our younger selves, but she was like, in a way, she said I wish I could tag this woman,
it's okay.
but she said our ancestor is our younger self, because our younger self was here before this version of us was, right? So being able to submit and just remember that like untainted version, and like it gives you a directive. It's like a compass. So my younger self would be my hero.
God bless. Well, thank you so much,
Bless
B. I
you.
really appreciate it. God
Have a
bless you.
lovely evening, you
And
guys.
are you okay if we use that for social media?
Absolutely,
Is that okay? Thank you so much, B.
absolutely. You gotta
I'll see you
tag me,
around.
though.
What's that?
It's B
Okay,
story.
so in your opinion, does money buy happiness?
No.
It doesn't. Okay, why? Or let me sit. I feel like that makes more sense. I'm like, so why do you think money doesn't buy happiness?
Because I think true happiness is, it comes when you're at peace with yourself. And I think it's nothing to do with necessarily what you have or where you live. I think obviously there is a baseline that is needed in order to be a sensible, like you need to be able to get food, and you need to stay alive, and that's where money is essential. But I think that money does not buy happiness at all, because I think that true happiness comes from a very a place where you just are at peace with your existence, and you're at peace with who you are and who your past is and where you are in life. And I think very little things make me happy. Like sitting here in the sun made me really happy, and I was just feeling that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this actually made me happy.
Yeah.
And I can be I'm an actor, but then I could be at a premiere, and then you would think that would be like the happiest moment ever. But actually, I really look forward to go home and take a shower and be in my PJs, and just that little thing makes me happy. And I think that that's truly, because like we're all creatures of habit, and I think that the little habits back in the day when like money wasn't a thing, because I always think of the human existence as like when we were just like back in the day so many years ago, it was the little things that we did that made us happy. There was nothing like money and wealth, and that has now come years and years afterwards. And I think that it goes back to the little, and also the contact with people. I think that's what makes you happy, and money cannot buy that. And I actually do also think that the more wealth you have, the more superficial and not deep relationships can be, because it can be about money or people wanting stuff from you. And I think that there's nothing like loving somebody just for who they are, without any thought, especially like in the acting industry. There's a lot of like, what can he do for me?
Of course. And
what can I do? And there's a lot of like the transferring element to it. And I think there's it's like so different when you just like have that aunt from so many months ago that you will always love for nothing to do with their money. So yeah, no, I think it's a very big misconception, but I think you only learn that later in life, or when you've like gone through something, and I think you only learn that when you know what life's about.
Was there ever a time in your life where you thought money brought happiness?
Yeah, 100%. When I lost my brother when I was really young, and when he passed away, my whole childhood kind of like broke down, and I didn't really have the same home that I used to have, and my whole world was black. So everything I saw on TV and on social media seemed like the best life in the world, and I needed to have that, and that was the only way that I was going to be happy. And that really is also what I think social media does, and it's kind of like it kills in so many ways, because it is showing such an amazing side, and a lot of it is with money. And so I had that as a kid, and then I became really mentally ill when I was like 15, and up until I was a bit like 19, I kind of lost plot of life. And then when I came out of that is kind of when I did the whole journey of digging out why I was in so much pain, and digging out why, like, all the suffering and all the pain, and then came to the realization, like, the peace that I am in with myself now, that is what brings me happiness. And I thought it was going to be whether I'm this famous, or whether I'm have that car, or whether I'm in that house, but I think that it's priceless when you are at peace with yourself. That's for me happiness.
I was going to ask you what's something you feel is priceless, and you literally, I guess, just picked up on that. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I think something that's priceless is being at peace, and also being confident in who you are, not because of the way that you look. And I think that's a really big misconception. A lot of people think like, well, I'm not pretty, or I'm not like this, so I can't be confident. But confidence doesn't stem necessarily from the way that you look. I know a lot of people think that, but it's once you develop, again, that peace with yourself, you are so confident in who you are. And actually, it's like a domino effect. The more confident you are, the more that you see that society reacts to that. And for me, confidence is about who I am, not the way I look.
Right. And do you feel like being able to, like, do you think there's a difference between being lonely and being alone? Like, do you think there's a power in being able to be content with yourself?
100%. 100%. I think the thought of being lonely is because you're not at peace with being alone.
Right.
And I am so happy alone.
Yes.
Because it's kind of the way I healed when I was in hospital for quite a while, and I was taken away from society but I think I find so much calmness in my being alone. I find so much peace because I know exactly what my mind needs, and I know exactly what I need. And I think the people that feel like they need somebody around them the whole time are the people that can't sit with their own thoughts or can't sit in silence. And I think that it takes time to understand that sitting in silence is the most beautiful thing. And it's the most calming thing, and it's the most present that you can be on earth, because when you're always with somebody, there's always a social pressure. Like, I need to say something, or is he having a fun time, or is he too cold? Like, there's always this societal pressure of like, I need to say. Whilst when you are alone, there is nothing but just like experiencing being alive and the people around you and looking, and there's nothing asked from you but just existing. And I think that's beautiful, and I really wish that people felt more comfortable or enjoyed that more. But again, I think it takes a journey to maybe come to that point.
Well, for me personally, I'm an addict, so I've struggled with alcoholism, drug addiction, you name it, porn addiction, and everything you can imagine, and even filling up my time with different women for the times that I was lonely. And it gets to a point where it does nothing to actually heal you. It does nothing to actually fill that void of loneliness. The only thing that truly, for me, that filled that loneliness was having a relationship with Jesus, having a relationship with God, and knowing that I am loved. I don't have to be perfect to be loved. And truly just taking the time to have love for myself, instead of running from that feeling of not being enough, because that's how that's been my greatest struggle my whole life, is always feeling less than. And so you're always trying to run from that feeling instead of confronting it and actually dealing with it and sitting in it. It's the scariest thing in the world. I think it takes a tremendous amount of courage to become the best version of yourself, because it means you're going to have to give up a lot of things that fill up the fear that you're feeling. You know what I mean? And just sitting with it, that takes so much courage.
No, I know, and I think that a lot of people have found ways to live their life with those things, and they don't dig it out. And they just find like a way to just go about life, but it's always going to burden them at one point. And especially like, I think generations that, like the past generations, never had that pivotal point of like, I'm going to dig it out and I'm going to talk about it. So they've kind of had to base their life around it and like navigate it. But I think that I was forced to dig it out. And in a way, I'm kind of lucky, as much as I would have died if I hadn't. But because I was forced to, it was just, there was not even like, so for me it wasn't hard, because I was literally not going to be here if I hadn't done it. And I think that there is so much more of that's why, like, I remember I was so insecure before I became really ill. Like I would always blush. I even went to a doctor and I was like, can you take like the literal blood cells out of my face, because I'm always blushing. Like I was so and it's because I was so conflicted in who loved me, who hated me. I thought everybody hated me because I was quite a rebellious kid after my brother died, because I hated my life and I was angry, and I was always like, I knew everybody hated me, and I was like, oh, you just hate me and you hate me. But that did bring insecurity, even though I was the biggest mouth around the room. Like that did make me feel insecure. And I think that confliction in your mind, as much as digging it out was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and the most, I wouldn't want to do it again in any way, shape or form. But in order to be where I am now and have the peace that I have now, I would consider going through it all again, because it's just you're at one with being alive. And it's a state of living that not a lot of people are in, and it's really rare to find the people who are.
That's funny, because Mark and I were just walking around and we're like trying to find.
Is that a little camera?
It's a little camera. Yeah,
that's so cute.
Is that okay?
It's totally fine.
Okay.
No,
I'm so sorry. I thought.
No.
We were looking for just very wealthy people, and that's kind of hard to find. I mean, I know we're on Rodeo, but it's just funny how God and the universe works. Is like earlier today we were at UCLA. We're asking college students, just questions about what kind of impact they want to have in the world and stuff. And a girl comes up to me and she's like, "Your jacket, where did you get your jacket?" And I was like, "Oh, I got it from this one artist." She's like, "That's been on my Pinterest for years," or whatever. And she's like,
Yeah.
"I've been trying to figure out where that jacket is from."
Oh my God.
And then I showed it to her, and then I was like, "Can I interview? Because I've been afraid to talk to people." She's like, "Yeah, of course." And she happened to be, a Christian as well. So it's just funny that we're walking around, and I told Mark, I'm like, this might be a wash on Rodeo, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And then you start talking to us, and you have such a beautiful story, and you have such a beautiful light.
Oh,
I can feel your energy, and it's taken me a long time to, I've had 3 suicide attempts in my life. So it's taken me a long time to just sit with myself and get sober and love myself for exactly who I am. But the thing is we're all made up of molecules. We're all made up of, whether you believe in God, you don't believe in God, molecules are what make us up, and that is an energetic attraction. So you're gonna attract, if you're at the lowest point in your life,
You're gonna attract the lowest.
and you're just digging yourself into a hole of drugs and alcohol, you're gonna attract probably some pretty toxic relationships as well. But if you find that peace within, you're gonna attract more peace. And so what I wanted to ask you is, I have 2 more questions for you. What is something you feel like we can do every single day as humans to make the world a better place? Like, what's one thing?
Whoa, there's so much. I think it's hard because it's like there's so much I think every single day everybody should sit and think about I know it's sad, but think about that we will pass, so what matters? And I think that why I say that is because I lost my brother, and because I lost, or like I have a trauma of that, I'm so aware of death that it makes me in every single day, and it's kind of haunting because I don't like it, but every single day I almost think about it at one point. And that's not a nice place to be in, but it also makes me so loving to the people that I meet in the grocery store, or kind to the people that I meet on street. And if I would say one thing, I think thinking about not being here anymore brings a humanity out of you that every single person will have to face.
Yes.
So it's a universal thing. And I think that, for example, when I'm thinking about the leaders of the world and what's going on right now, I can't get in their mind, but I bet that somewhere in that, they're gonna have to face it too. And they're scared of that too. And I wish that if they would sit with that and think of it, it would maybe be like, what am I doing on earth? Am I doing anything good?
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of people that maybe just go about life in amazing cars and in Ferraris and big bags. And then I always look at them and I think, do they know what life's about? And I think, do they ever think about that? Or maybe they totally do, but then I don't know, I just think maybe that could be something for me. I just want to find something that everybody could realize, let me just be a good human today.
Yeah.
And I think maybe thinking of that moment of, this all doesn't matter. My ring doesn't matter, my bag doesn't matter, it's all gonna go away. That could all make us so much more equal.
Yeah.
And to realize the person sleeping on the street could be me in my next life.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe just being the awareness of the existence.
Sure.
And hopefully that makes you more level with everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think for me, when I saw, Charlie Kirk get assassinated and get killed, that was something that I think no matter everyone's views are to just murder someone is a very dark thing to do. And when I saw that, something really woke up in me, and I asked myself, I went on, my story, and I just posted a story, and I said, I know there's a lot of feelings going around, but I hope we can all come together no matter what our political views are, and know that that's the only thing that's going to make us whole as a country and whole as a world, is that we show each other more love, because you saw so much attacking coming out immediately between, people that were, liberal versus conservative, you name it. And I think the next day I post, I do content creation and have a, pretty large following. And I remember the story that I had posted calling for unity, whatever, got like 60,000 views. And then my own videos that I hate making, because they're so focused on me, how well do they perform and what numbers do they get and did it go viral, completely tanked. They just tanked. They got like 1,000 views, far less than what I usually get. And it was a moment where I was just like, you know what? I would rather spend the rest of my life truly failing and making no money with a sense of purpose, trying to bring people together and share a message of unity, than make money doing this thing that I absolutely feel no purpose behind, just making these videos of myself and whatnot. And from that point on, I just started doing this. This has only been going on for a week.
Oh my God.
Because I've spent 5 years doing content creation, hating it. And just today is our first day. It's our first day doing this.
This is crazy.
It's our first day, and it's been the most purposeful, all the times I've ever tried to end my life, or, I've struggled with suicidal ideation for 5 years probably at this point. It's been because I've felt no purpose in my life. And I think if everyone who is struggling with addiction or just struggling in their life, just know that your purpose is to love yourself and to love others, not in an egotistic way and be like, oh, I'm so amazing, but to if you could just make everyone's day better just by smiling and stuff. Just when I walked by you, I was like, I think I saw you and you smiled. I was like, oh, she seems so sweet. Like, you just seemed very sweet. And then you talking to us, and you've given us purpose, because now you've changed our entire perspective of how we're going to do this now. I don't have to look for rich people. I'm just going to talk to people.
Talk to anybody.
Talk to anybody.
Anybody.
Well, my final question for you would be, who is your hero?
Whoa, that's another difficult one. I think as much as it's so conflicted, because it's like, who is my hero? I think I never thought about how I was going to answer this question. I actually always thought. No, I actually always thought about answering this, and I never really knew what my answer would be.
Yeah.
I think I would have to say, for me, a hero or somebody, it's like that no matter what, they're going to help you, and that's my mom. And it's so hard because my relationship with her, I also still, I love her more than anything in the world, but there's also still an inner wounded child in me that will always kind of be there, and she sometimes I can get really upset with her, and she can annoy me the most.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it's like a double answer, but in my hearts of hearts, my mom, her existence is so pure, and she really just exists now, for me, and it's the one person. I feel when you have a really small family, I haven't got any brothers and sisters anymore, and you realize with your aunt, and I always when I see my aunt and I see her with her kids, I always have this feeling of I wish I was in that family. I wish I was in that family. And you kind of realize people really only drop everything for the immediate family. And so not a lot of people would necessarily drop everything for me, because my immediate family isn't that big.
Yeah.
But for me, my mom, she'll drop anything
Yeah.
for me. And I think that's the only person that I know can do that, and I can rely on literally in any state of mind. So yeah, I would say her. But also I want to say that if you don't have a mum, or if you don't have a loving mum or parents, the power within yourself is the next best thing. And the power and the love that you have for yourself, you can be your own hero in so many ways. And that's what I really want to emphasize. It, as much as I am lucky to have her, a lot of my healing has come from me, and has come from finding a purpose and a power and a sense of me that I'm at peace with, that makes me live every day in a state of calm, in a state of peace. And so I truly do believe that the mind is something incredible. It can be incredibly damaging to yourself, but it also can be incredibly rich and strong and resilient. And being able to survive things, we are a very strong, resilient race. Like, going through hospital for a year, thinking back at that, I would never want to do that again. I was like, how did I even survive it? But once you are put in a situation, like the people in war zones, you always think, how can they survive it? The existence, you have a survival mechanism in you. And so I really do want to, that's the most thing that I want to tell to people, especially people who struggle mentally. I think a lot of them haven't found that power within them, and it's always like, I need somebody else to help me. But nobody is going to be able to help you if you can't or don't want to help yourself. And that's the biggest thing with mental health, is I was not in a place to be helped for so many years. And it has taken me and the development of my life that I am in such a strong place to help myself, but nobody can do that for you.
Right.
So you really can be your own hero in that way, and you don't need anybody else for that.
Well, you are one of the most amazing, present people I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh my God.
And your brother would be very proud of the person that you are.
Thank you so
and
much.
You're an incredible person, and I hope that this goes viral only for the reason that I think you're going to help millions and millions of people. Everything you've said, I think, is going to truly save lives.
Thank you so
and
much.
I hope that you'll just continue to share your message.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, cool.